Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Diamond, and if you're not new, you know that most of the time I'm doing gaming content, so you could probably tell that this content is a little bit different today. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about editing and basically give you guys a tutorial on how I edit. So I use Davinci Resolve. I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and while it's loading, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about basically why I decided to do a tutorial. So a lot of you guys have been asking me how I edit, what do I use to edit, and a lot of you guys are interested in doing YouTube. So yeah, I figured that I could help you guys out a little bit. So hopefully this helps. Feel free to comment down below if you want me to elaborate on a specific part, or just, you want to know about some more things. So just for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to start out with a new project. I can either click here or go to new project, and I'm just going to go ahead and call it Toot for short for tutorial. I don't really want to type a lot, so that's what we are going to call it. Alright, so it's going to open up here, and I want you guys to know that there's a free version of Davinci Resolve and also a version available for purchase. And basically what you need to know about that is, in the free version, it'll basically use your CPU to render videos instead of your GPU, which is, if you want the paid version, it'll use the GPU. And the difference between that is the rendering time. The CPU will take a longer amount of time to render your videos, as opposed to the GPU that takes a shorter amount of time to render your videos, as well as other, other special features that comes with the paid version. So you can get the free version of this if you want. But here we have the home screen, the edit screen. This is a cut screen, media screen, fusion screen, color screen, Fairlight, deliver. So let me go ahead and actually show you guys what all that looks like. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not well versed in all things editing, but I do my thing a little bit. So right now we are in the fusion screen. Let's go ahead to the color screen, where you can change a couple things with color and blur stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So even now, guys, I still watch tutorials. And then the deliver screen is where you render, and yeah, so we'll go through all of this, but right now I'm going to go back to my editing screen. So yeah, like I said, I'm still learning some stuff. I still YouTube and Google some things, but if you want to just learn how I edit, this is going to be the video. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do right now is we are going to import some media. So I go to File, Import, and then Media. So I'm going to go to my videos folder, my Grand Theft Auto folder, and I'm going to open this video up right here. Okay, it's going to ask me to change the frame rate. I always change it because my videos are at a higher frame rate, so you could choose to change it or not. And then what else do I want to do? I'm also going to go ahead and bring in my rendered clips from Rockstar Editor. So I go to File, Import, Media again, and then I have it saved in this little folder right here. So there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab this whole clip into my timeline like so. And then you can basically just grab this, I don't even know what it's called, but for the sake of this video, we'll call it an indicator, and I grab it all throughout. That way I can see what is going on in that clip. And just so that you guys don't hear too much, sound overlapping, I am going to go ahead and lower the volume of this audio clip. So each clip comes with a video and audio clip. I'm gonna hold it right here. You see where that comes up? And I'm gonna drag it down, and there it's telling me like how low of a decibel rate that it's bringing down to. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. But yeah, I like to scroll through, see what I did, in the episode, and sometimes I do have to make edits. So I'll say like, okay, I know that I need to cut this part out, I'm not using this part, or I need to blend this part here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Definitely, if I touch on anything that you want me to elaborate on, you can go ahead and comment that down below. So most of you guys know that I use NVIDIA Shadow Play to record. So I usually go ahead and wait till that little thing leaves the screen, and I could either drag it this way to where I want it to start or end. Well, for the sake, start. So I can either drag it, or I can use this cut blade, and I can go like this, and then I'll go back to the clicker, the selection clicker, and I can go like this. I can click it, well, I can select it, right click it, and look for delete. I don't usually do that too often. You could press delete selected, which is backspace, or you can use a shortcut Control X on your keyboard, which is what I usually use. So you can cut it like that, but further on in this tutorial, I just use Control X because it's a lot easier for me just to cut a clip out that way. So this will be my starting point, and then I will scroll all the way through, and also audio clip. Okay, let's talk about that before we begin. So as you can see, this is just the game audio that came with the this game video. So we still have to put our audio in there, and right now as I'm speaking, I use Audacity to record my audio. So I'm going to go ahead and bring over my Audacity so that you guys can actually see it, and I'm talking right now, so that's what you see, the sound waves going. So once we have that, you can actually go to your media again, and then I save everything in a folder. So as you guys can see, my GTA 5 is in a folder, my game audio, video, music is in a folder, Rockstar clips is in a folder. Everything I have basically is in a folder that I use. So we're gonna go ahead to game audio. I'm gonna open that up, and I select, or I write my audio by dates. So I have this one right here, both of these two, and then I will open it up, and there we have it. So then I'll select it. This is basically called your bin of media. So I will go ahead and select it and drag it to this second audio timeline. So these are called timelines. So then if I'm quiet for 1 second, you'll be able to hear me talking if I press play, yay, or whatever you want to call it. And right out here we have, but for me, it's gonna go ahead and play in my headphones. So I'm just gonna mute it so that I don't hear the overlapping in while I'm talking to you guys. But there you have the audio of what you were saying while you were playing the game, right? So then we also have to match up our audio and our what is this called, and our video audio and video. So everything that's happening in the audio and the video has to sync up. But for now, we're going to focus on the video. So as you guys can see, hopefully you guys like this little behind the scenes. So yeah, there's a part in here that I wanted to cut out. So I'm just going to scroll through using this toggle right here. I'm going to scroll through, and there we go. So right here, I was stopped by police, and then I went here, and actually my cars weren't here that I wanted, right? So I had to go back and basically do that little U-turn again after I added the vehicle. So as you guys can see, this is a little behind the scenes of stuff that happens that you don't think is going to happen, right? So I'm gonna go right here to where I know that I need to start over, and I am going to give myself a little grace and cut all the way over here, even though I won't use that whole section. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and scroll through, and wait for everything to load back up. I have to go to my previous position. Oh, let me talk about this right here. So when you guys see me using this scroll, it basically expands the timeline, or allows the timeline to get a lot smaller. So when you see me using this, it's because I'm trying to key in on a certain specific part, like the very second of the clips. So if you can see here, like this is literally, I can go right down to the second of things, right? Whereas if I go that far when the timeline is not as expanded, it will go pretty quick, okay, while I'm scrolling through. So I hope that this is useful to you guys, because yeah, I don't really do a lot of videos like this, and when I'm editing, I'm usually not talking. So hopefully you guys find it useful. So yeah, I had to get her redressed back in the outfit. So I saved the outfit, thank goodness, because it was a lot trying to find this outfit for her. So I'll just continue scrolling through until I find the position, and sometimes I'm not all the way perfect with going back into the same location or whatever, so I'll just eyeball it a little bit. So I see this pole, I'm like, okay, I remember driving by that pole, so I'll do another cut, right? And then what will happen is this space, I'm going to change back to the selection now. This space where I don't need any of this footage, I'll go ahead and select it, press Ctrl X on my keyboard, cut it out, and then select this clip. As you'll notice, these two are linked. There is a way to unlink your video and your sound of the video if you want to do that. Sometimes my sound and video is off, so I'll need to unlink it and relink it, but for the most part I leave them linked, and I'll drag it all the way to the scene right here. Okay, so now we have this scene and then this scene that we have to basically, it's called a match cut, so we're gonna have to match it together. And so right here I'm turning the car, and I just passed that pole, right? So I'm gonna make another cut for just to know, like, okay, I passed the pole right here. So then I'll go ahead and look at this other footage when I had to redo that turn, and I'll say, okay, I'm passing the pole right about here. I'm right there. So I'll use this little indicator to scroll into the timeline to see it a little bit closer, select my selection tool, and because this is so small, I won't actually use the cutting tool. I will just drag it to that part right there, and I will just once again, like, I want you guys to see what it looks like. So I'm going to drag this and put it a little bit closer. So this was the footage originally, right, that I had to go ahead and redo because we got into a little snafu with the police, and some stuff happened. So because I don't need this section anymore, I redid that section. I'm going to go ahead and press Ctrl X on my keyboard, and then right here you can select the space and press delete on the keyboard, or backspace on the keyboard, or delete, or you can just drag it. So I'm actually going to press backspace, and you guys will see how that just zoomed right up to the end of the other clip right there. So I'll continue to watch it again and to see if I like how it matches up. So let's go ahead and watch it and see what we got. So I'm driving, and to me that looks pretty good. It's quick, it's very quick. It's a little jolt. People will notice it, but sometimes people won't actually notice it. So like if we go slow, you can see that I'm kind of in the same vicinity. The car is not facing the same direction, or the game camera is not in the same direction, and we have the pop of the two black cars on the left hand side, but for the most part it's pretty good, you know what I mean? There's another instance of where I needed to do a match cut over here, I'm actually scrolling through to the position. So this toggle I use a lot because a lot of times when you're editing, you have watched it so many times that you know exactly what is going on, that you cannot sit here and watch minutes of footage over and over and over again. The better you get at this, you'll just be able to scroll through extra quick. And unfortunately for me, I know exactly what I need to change. So I already know the positioning. So yeah, but when I'm first doing it, I do sometimes have to watch the footage full through and then make markings of what needs to be changed, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be taken out. Then after that first run through, I can actually go a little bit faster with what I want to do. So here I made a mistake and I didn't actually load up what I needed. So I had to, and I ran through all of upstairs already. So I had to load everything and basically do that footage again. Okay. So so right here, you guys can see me, it loading, right? And then here's where I make my decision. Oh, I have to do it all over again. So I walk back down the stairs just a little bit and then turn around and walk back up the stairs. So I'm going to cut right there. Okay. Because that's where I want it to begin. So then I'm going to pull this back a little bit, make my timeline a little more collapsed. So I'm gonna scroll back and see where's the first time that I went up the stairs. Okay, so here we are. Here's the first time that I went up the stairs. I was already on the second landing. So we're gonna do another cut right here with that splice tool. Do they call it splice? They call it blade edit. Different editors and stuff will call things different names, so just bear with me, you guys. But yeah, that's the first time that we're going up the stairs. So as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and select my selection again. I keep on, usually, if you guys can see, I usually go between this and this. I hardly ever use anything else on here. I am very basic, but you can do a lot with very basic knowledge of editing footage. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll once again, and how I scroll is I select it. Okay, you don't even have to, you just have to be like close in the vicinity. I select it, keep my finger on the mouse key, the left mouse key, and just scroll. Okay, and yeah, so all of this that I already did, I don't need it anymore. Okay, it was useless to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the arrow, and again I'm going to press Control X on my keyboard to cut all of that footage out. I'm gonna press the space and then press a backspace on my keyboard. So those are little shortcuts. If you want to know how to get the shortcuts, they're all right here. So cut, Control X, copy, Control C, paste, Control V, your basic controls. I use them all the time. Even to undo, Control Z, I do that a lot. It just makes the editing process a lot easier than always going to these menus to do things that you're gonna do over and over and over again. So back to this clip, okay? So she's going up the stairs. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom all the way into that because I want to get it right down to the second. So she's going up the stairs, she hits the second platform, and then she's about to hit the second set of stairs. She hits the first platform, that's what it should be called, the first platform, and then she's gonna go ahead and hit the second set of stairs. So when she takes that step, I want it to be more cohesive, right? So that looks pretty cohesive. She's taking a step right there. If I want to go further, I can just drag this back, see if there's any more footage that I would like to use, if she's closer or what, and then based on what I see, what looks more organic to me, I will choose, right? So then I'm gonna go ahead and play it back for myself and just see, okay, that looked normal. The camera always changes when you go close to things, so that didn't look too much of an issue to me. And then I continue, going upstairs and everything like that, and looking at everything once more. So hopefully you guys are liking this editing tutorial of how to scroll through, how to match cut. And this is obviously what I needed to load for the episode. And yeah, also you guys seen me put this clip in there from Rockstar Editor. So I just, grabbed it and dropped it in here. And this is a clip for Rockstar Editor. All right. And yeah, so, and how you break that up, I don't like to do multiple clips. So I use this, I guess you could call it a zoom, to see what I need specifically in that clip, because some clips I put them in different places. So see, like right here, how it changes from them in the studio to the car. I will actually zoom all the way in and search for the second that the clip changes, and then I'll go ahead and zoom in even more. Okay, so there it changes, right? So I actually cut right here, and then I'll find where that car clip ends. I'll zoom out. I'll find where that car clip ends by scrolling, and then that's where where it ends. I'll zoom back in, and I will go right to the second of it changing. So then that way I can move the clips that I don't need right now if I'm going to use it in a different place in my timeline. And then I'll bring this clip over here, because those two clips are them in the studio. And yeah, I'll let it play, see if I like it, see how much time I want for each clip, because I usually do my clips a little bit longer than I actually want them, so that I have enough time depending on what I say or what type of music I am going to choose under that clip. Okay. And then you could also move stuff in your timeline too. Like if I wanted to select this whole thing and move it down, all I have to do is select the timeline, drag it over, basically how you would like copy something on the internet. I can select all of it. I can just select these two, drag them and put them over here, or I can basically do whatever I want. All right. So that's how you edit, and you do a couple match cuts, as you can see here. Sometimes I even like to change the clip color, so I know like, oh, if I have to do something special right there or fix something right there, I can go ahead and fix it. And let's go ahead and talk about music now. I don't want this tutorial to be too long, but I want to give you guys some good things that you should know. So we're going to go ahead back to File, Import. We're going to go to Media. And like I said, I save all of my things in one in a folder. So I have video music right here that I label for myself. So I have a whole bunch of music here that I use. And for purposes, let's go ahead and choose ASAP Rocky. I love me some ASAP, okay? I'm not even about to lie to you guys. So here is the music right here. So this just tells you timeline 1, because you can have different timelines by going over here and selecting an additional timeline like that. Okay, I can go more into that, like, or it's really simple. Yeah, you just get a different timeline like that. So it just tells you timeline 1, and then if you have stuff in timeline 2, it'll tell you what you have in timeline 2. So in timeline 1, I have my projects, the Rockstar Editor project, the raw footage of Grand Theft Auto, ASAP Rocky song, and my voice. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drag let me go ahead and make space, but I'm gonna drag the ASAP Rocky song to yet another timeline. So as soon as I bring it below, you see how it disappeared and only went to audio 1 and 2. As soon as I bring it down, it's going to create another track for me. So that is what you want. Okay, so right now the music is just gonna play in my headphones, but trust me, it's playing. And yeah, what I do most of the time, because the music is very loud, and how you can tell that the music is loud, right here over on your decibels, it will continue to it'll go to like the red right here. So yeah, you don't want it that loud. So what I'll do is, you have to pause that if you want to change the sound. You can't do it while it's actually playing. I will pause it, make sure those two arrows come up, and then I will select it by just clicking down on the the left clicker on the mouse, and I will just drag it down. So it went to negative 12.77 decibels, negative 12.77 decibels, and that's still giving me a little bit red. So I'll also bring it down to where I'm comfortable and play it back, because I want you guys to hear what I'm saying and not have the music overshadow what I'm saying. So that's how I make sure that my music is low, not too loud, that the decibels are not too high, that I'm also not too loud in the video as well. So even here, if I play myself again, I don't think you guys are gonna hear it. Oh, I muted it. Let me unmute. I don't think you guys are gonna hear it because it's just gonna play in my headphones, of course. But yeah, it'll be like Airbnb it. I'm too high, right? The living room. So I'm too high right there. So I'll go ahead and wait for those two arrows and bring myself down, and then I'll keep listening and replaying to figure out if I'm loud enough, if I'm too soft, if I need to, change the decibel range in my voice. So that is how I do most of my editing. You can also drag this in here for a nice slow gradual fade in of the song. You can also do it at the end for a slow gradual fade out of the song. You can do it to the video as well, a slow gradual fade in. You could do it to the video audio as well. So before, my video just started like this. Let me drag this down like so. All right, hopefully, I feel like I'm kind of going fast, but hopefully if you guys want me to expand on anything else, I can do another video and be a little bit slower and talk about one thing. So the video just started like this, right? It just started right off the bat like that, okay? But if I add this fader into it, the video will have a very slow fade, okay? So I can even choose to bring the video in a little bit more, so that it didn't have that awkward pop. So then this is what we'll have, a very slow fade in. I could shorten the fade in so that it doesn't take so long. So you can really do whatever, right? And then now it's almost at its full color. Welcome back to another episode. I'm gonna mute myself again because I'm hearing myself talk in my ear while I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, that's basically how I do it. And another thing, what else should I show you guys? Let's see. All the volume, if you click this, it shows you right here. So you can even drag it down this way or drag it up. So you can do that. And I just selected it and dragged it to the right or to the left. You can do that for all audios actually. And with Audacity, let me go ahead and show you guys this. So once you do everything you need to do, you recorded your voice, you just go to File, export as MP3. It's obviously not going to select right now because I am still talking for this tutorial. So you can export it as MP3 and save. I like Audacity just because it's very simple. It gets the job done. You can do certain effects with it as well. So yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you guys want to know or want me to elaborate on in this tutorial, and I would be happy to. So yeah, just let me know if you had an enjoyable time listening to me and do this tutorial and show you guys kind of the behind the scenes of this Frankie episode. And maybe I can turn this into like a little series of some episodes and you guys can get the behind the scenes and what troubles I had and how I figured I wanted to do certain things. And yeah, I hope it made you guys happy. I hope it was very useful. And if you are not subscribed already, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for just supporting the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.